Awesome. So we are here in a quick online hustlers podcast for the real estate online hustlers. And today we have a special guest, and this is Jerry Norton. This is, in my eyes, he's the legend of real estate education in online platforms like YouTube. And we're gonna ask him a few questions. You're gonna meet him. If you haven't met him before, you go and check out his YouTube channel immediately. And let's start. So what's your name and what do you do for a living?
Yeah, so I'm Jerry Norton and do full-time real estate. Been doing it for almost 20 years. And I like to specialize in pretty much all things flipping. So I do a technique called wholesaling and also fix and flip. Do some development and some new construction. So, buy a lot, build a house, sell it. But all of that kind of fits into the umbrella of flipping. And I'll do some creative finance, another kind of unique technique. But my main thing I do in real estate is I try to get in a deal for the lowest amount I can, and then I try to exit the deal and make as much money as I can in between.
That's how you're making money.
Yeah.
And income-wise, how much income does real estate bring to you?
Multiple millions a year.
Multiple. So like we're talking over $1 million a year.
Sometimes on one deal.
Sometimes in one deal.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because I like to do some luxury too. So I just closed on a deal that I sold for $4.6 million, a house I bought, renovated, sold, and after everything, all my net was $1.4 million on just one deal.
Wow.
Now I've been doing this a long time, but yeah, so that's just the power of what flipping can be.
And was that your largest deal ever?
That one was, yeah. Now I've done some others a little under that, but still over $1 million, but yeah.
Yeah, if you were wholesaling, usually how much would a wholesale deal would make? Top something.
Oh, I mean, there's six-figure wholesales like all the time, but the top wholesalers, they try to average like between 25 and 50,000 per wholesale deal.
Yeah.
But when you're getting started, $5,000 and $10,000 is pretty normal.
Yes.
Like I would say a $10,000 wholesale is very doable.
Is very doable.
Yeah.
Right.
Like that should be your first wholesale should be $10,000.
Wow. Okay. Follow Jerry Norton in Instagram and obviously on YouTube. What's your Instagram?
Flipping Mastery.
Flipping.
Yeah.
Mastery.
So is YouTube. Yep. That's our brand.
Okay, great. So now let's continue for the medium. So just 5 minutes. All right, awesome. So you right now live in Puerto Rico, and you have 10 children.
10 kids. That's
wow.
Right.
This is crazy.
Same mom, same dad, and no twins.
Yes, and I find like entrepreneurs, they have a crazy life because they're always so busy, so many businesses. Yeah. How can you handle 10 kids?
Yeah, well, that's a great question. I ask myself that question every day too. But yeah, I have multiple businesses, and I have 10 kids. 8 of them still at home. 2 of them are older and out. But first of all, I have an amazing wife, and so she runs our home really well. And so we wouldn't be able to do it if she wasn't just such a rock star and on top of it. But I've kind of learned as a father that it's more about it is quantity, but quality is really important too. So I try to spend quality time with all of my kids, and my outside life, outside of work, everything I do, even my hobbies, I do with my kids.
Yes.
So I don't do anything where I'm not doing it with a kid.
Oh, okay.
So if I work out with some kids. If I go shoot guns, I go shoot guns with my kids. If I do anything, if I run to the store, I bring kids.
Yes.
If I go on an appointment or I go to one of my real estate deals, I bring kids.
You're also not running out of kids too.
Yeah, there's never any shortage.
There's no shortage.
But I mean, like, if people actually knew what my life looked like with kids, because I'm running a business and then every waking moment there's kids with needs like that. They just, there's a lot of kids. So it's a very active life. Always moving, not a lot of sleep sometimes, but I wouldn't have it any other way. I mean, I love all of them, and it's what we want. Yeah, and it's great.
And as a entrepreneur dad and entrepreneur mom, what is it raising kids, even though it's U.S. in a Latin American country?
Yeah, what is it?
What is it like? Is it a big change compared to like the rest of the U.S.?
Yeah, I mean, we homeschool. And I'll be honest, I have a lot of support. So we have some full-time nannies, we have tutors, we have people that help us with like all the other things. I have a full-time guy that does our grounds on our property. And then in the business side, I have a personal assistant that does a lot of things. So I've got a lot of really good support and really good processes and really good systems in the businesses and in the home. Like if you look at our home operation is like a business.
Yes.
There's multiple employees and they're all doing things to keep this engine going. Cleaning lady and just everything. So it's unique. It's unique. And we travel a lot. So we also have a home in Montana. So when we're not in Puerto Rico, we spend about 3 to 4 months of the year in our lake house in Montana.
Which is totally different. Like
totally different. Yeah, it's bear
mountains,
country.
yeah.
It's pine trees, right? It's a lake in the mountains in Montana versus the ocean palm trees in Puerto Rico. But we go back and forth with all these kids.
Yes.
So
wow.
it's quite the train. Yeah.
That's pretty amazing. Now, do you have to, you take them all in one airplane and now you have a jet?
The jet, every time I travel with the kids, I'm like, I gotta get a jet. So I think at some point that's probably in the future because it's just so hard to travel commercial with a big family. But
it is.
We figured out, we seem to do it.
Are they learning Spanish too?
Yeah. Some of my kids are really interested in Spanish, so they're learning it. I was fortunate to have lived in Argentina for 2 years.
Wow.
When I was younger, so I learned it really well then. And then I, forgot a lot of it over the years, but it's gotten so much better, being back in Puerto Rico. So I get to practice it every day.
Wow, that's awesome. I did not know that you spoke Spanish, man.
Hay que practicar.
Hay que practicar. Okay, so yeah, just to remind you, we had just a presentation here at Q's event for remote Latinos because we want to empower, first of all, CEOs in the real estate space and wholesaling real estate entrepreneurship, whether you're a tech company, whether you're a wholesaler, a flipper, whatever, to be great leaders and take control of their own team, build their own culture, and do that with Latin Americans. So we've been fortunate to. I'm fortunate to understand the culture real well, but also that it's not so different than the U.S. Like there's a lot of similarities, and not only that, Latin Americans, they understand everything in the U.S. very well. Media, the way that they think, the way that we act, economy. They're always looking at the U.S. side. So obviously, we do have some Puerto Ricans, but Puerto Ricans that live, for example, in Colombia or Mexico, things like that, right? Like they just prefer to live in those countries, do work remotely instead of like living in the U.S. And they get paid good salary.
Well, there's a lot of Puerto Ricans in the U.S.
Yes, 100%.
Like a lot, because there's been a mass migration from Puerto Rico for opportunity. So a lot of people have left the island. They come to the mainland looking for better opportunity, and then a lot of them now are coming back home. We're seeing a lot of Puerto Ricans now come back. Hurricane Maria, did a number on Puerto Rico. So but now it's been 5-6 years, and things are starting to kind of improve quite a bit. So you're seeing a lot of people come back home.
Yeah. My buddy Robert Wensley, we actually had him in the podcast.
Yeah.
He lives in Puerto Rico.
I'm good friends with Rob.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, we hang out a lot.
Oh, you do?
That's
pretty awesome. Yeah, I'm gonna be. So Ryan Pineda invited me. Not Ryan Pineda. His partner, Javi, invited me to the podcast on Ryan Pineda. I think he's a wealthy investor, something like that. And just transferring this information and this knowledge to people for me is really important. We just taught everything that is required to hire an A player in Latin America, within the U.S. for your real estate business.
Yeah.
And
English speaking,
100%.
but they live in Latin America.
They live in Latin America. Yes. So, for example, I just brought 2 team members. One is from Ecuador and the other one is from Colombia. They're in the booth.
Yeah.
I'd love to introduce you to them. But
I think I met the big guy.
Yes, the huge guy.
Yeah.
Yes, and the other one is Isabella. She's from Ecuador.
Great.
She went to school in Milwaukee, and we brought them, and they're crushing it. Like everyone loves them. It's the first time in such a big event, so it's a little bit intimidating. But yes.
You flew them from Ecuador and from Colombia.
From Ecuador and Colombia, and we invest a lot in our people. I think that if you're a business owner, it's kind of like having a family, right? Like you invest a lot in your kids. You invest a lot in your wife, in your everything, right? Your family. make sure that they're taken care, they grow very well, right? That's
And these are not like virtual assistants necessarily.
you know what? I hate that word.
Okay, why?
I feel like that word has been diluted now over time. It used to be cool.
Yeah.
And
What don't you like about it? What's it say to you?
it says to me that they can only do very basic stuff, and they don't have the capability of doing higher level things.
Okay, so when you hear that, you think $4 an hour, and you think low level activities.
Low level activities.
Yeah,
right.
pulling list and just data entry
and then
and stuff.
they can't critically think. They can't
Yeah.
like have like leadership roles, or they can have
Okay.
managerial roles, or they can like be able to close deals, for example, or like do higher level things, right?
Get on the phones and hold positions and
Yes.
lead teams and things like that.
Teams and be operation managers.
And what you're doing
managers.
is you're finding these high qualified Latin Americans that actually can fill these positions.
Correct.
And are hungry for work and
Yep.
can do the service and
Yeah,
all of it.
and one of the main reasons too is because my first ever hire was my cousin. She had no experience, never like she was still in school. She had no experience working. Her English was great. That's
She
definitely
had that
one
go.
thing.
From where?
Bogota, Colombia.
Okay, so from Colombia.
Correct. And then I started like developing her, and she became so good. She's such a pillar in my company
Yeah.
right now, with all the training that I've given her and everything that I've given her and the skills that she has acquired. She will become a partner in one of my sub products.
Yeah, she's that good.
She's that good, and so there's amazing people in Latin America that we should be able to explore. Just be able to explore.
That's awesome.
Yeah, Patrick David talks about like the immigrant power, like how you come to this country and there's this hope, because like they never had this much opportunity of like no cap opportunity than in the country, because it's tough. So
Yeah, I love that they're hungry to work, and there's a lot of entitlement in America, and that's I tell the younger group here, the younger crowd growing up right now, that you guys better get it on. You better get your hustle on. You better figure out what you're doing, because there's people coming here that want to work, and they're going to take these jobs and they're going to fill these roles. And so, I mean, you're showing that.
100%. And you know what? What's beautiful about it is that I love my Canadians, and I have Canadian employees, and I have Canadian American employees. But I'm just able to give them a job. They don't have to live here. They don't have to have a.
Everything's virtual now.
Yeah, everything's virtual, and I pay them. They're happy. They're amazing. They're having like one of our client success managers has a salary like a doctor, and lives an amazing life. Is achieving his dreams, and is working so hard, so good for us. He believes in the vision of the company, and he's an A player. Still a lot of skills.
When you say he's on a doctor's salary there, equivalent to there, or here he's on a doctor's salary?
Equivalent to there.
Yeah.
Yes.
So the wages he's getting are equal to a doctor's salary in Colombia or wherever. Yeah.
And it's sad because I think that, for example, a doctor usually should be paid more. But if you were to be an engineer, for example, and you have 7 years of experience, and you pay them like $1,100, $1,200, it's the same thing as an engineer with 7 years of experience or more. And it's crazy because $1,100, $1,200 for an engineer is really nothing.
Like a month or what? A week?
Per month, yes.
So you're paying $1,100 a month for an overseas engineer.
Correct.
Which is like you couldn't find anything like that here.
Yeah. We're developing tech, which, by the way, you develop tech.
Yeah.
But we're developing tech, and I've seen that great user experience designers, for example, they're like within the $500 to $2,000 a month, depending on their experience and how much they've had in their portfolio. And same for software developers, like $1,000 to $2,000 a month to develop tech. And there's a lot of tech entrepreneurs there. So we're seeing and we're exploring that option too. As a matter of fact, REI Sift, the majority of their team are Brazilians.
Yeah. My tech team on one of my softwares is, they're all from the Ukraine.
Love that.
Yeah.
Ukraine
They're amazing.
Has amazing talent.
Yeah.
They're great at design, like they're just so creative and things like that, but they're great at development, software programming.
my customer service are the Philippines, which is common, but I don't at all consider them like this VA because they're really good.
Yes.
And they can manage, they can lead, they can figure things out.
And that's the thing, like
They're
VA
great.
is called virtual assistant, right?
Yeah.
They're assisting you. But if you were to go to Google, really virtual assistant is doing admin stuff.
Yeah.
Like admin stuff, like maybe checking on emails, responding to emails, helping you with your calendar, like those type of things. And over time, we started putting more responsibilities and higher responsibilities to VAs so that now this VA word just doesn't have the same meaning.
Yeah.
Now we call them remote team members. We try to come up with like a word to like make it more significant for
Differentiate
them.
from
Differentiate.
that. Yeah. I mean, we just call them our customer service reps because
Exactly.
I don't care where they're from. They're our customer service reps.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I call them. I call my CSMs.
Yeah.
And some people will call them VAs, like customer success managers.
Yeah.
We have VA closers that help with like closing REI deals.
Yeah.
Dispo support, Dispo decision managers, executive assistants. I just hire my executive assistant.
Well, if you know somebody, I'm looking for somebody right now that can do. We have a unique thing we do with bank properties, but I get the list like late Friday, and I need someone that can take this list over the weekend. And we've got an exact process we do, but there's filtering that we do through these lists.
Yeah.
And so we're looking right now for someone that could man that job, but it'd be like a weekend warrior.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of people that are available for that.
Okay. Yeah.
Weekend
Yeah,
warrior.
if you know somebody, let me know how it works. But we're looking to fill that role right now because we're using our other team members have stepped in, but they're also busy Monday through Friday, and so it's like I don't want to burn them out or overwork.
Yeah.
You know, they're willing to jump in and do anything, but But
have
anyway.
you asked them for like referrals?
Yeah. So there's that too, because our best people have come from referrals from our other best people.
Yeah.
So we're hoping that we'll maybe find somebody.
We always like tell our clients like, hey, I wanna help you.
Yeah.
At the same time, while you're looking at your own ways, if it is a referral or another company, I'm happy for you. Like we're giving these people careers, and that's one of the missions for Remote Latinos.
Yeah.
We want to give 10,000 careers across the U.S. within the real estate space first, and then if that evolves in other industries, in other niche, that's great.
Great.
For now, it's that. So yeah.
Well, Esteban, it's amazing what you're doing. I mean, what you're doing is impactful. It's changing families' lives. I mean, that's a big project. I can see your passion behind it. That's exciting. Good
Thanks,
for you.
man. We had 2 members. They bought their first car ever after working with us for 1 year and a half.
Yeah.
And I also had my CSM. He was able to buy and pay for all the wedding stuff, and he wanted to make it special because he believes in all of that. He's very religious and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And he was like, I wouldn't have been able to like pay for this in such a short period of time if I was not working for Hustle Media or Remote Latinos.
We had when in the Philippines when they had their big tsunami. When was that? Maybe a year ago. It hit our team, our customer service reps, and when that happened, you know, like to me they're family, right? So we jumped in, we put them all up in hotels. We sent them all generators because I asked them like, "What do you guys need?" They're like, "Man, our house is 4 feet underwater. No one's got power." So we got them all these things that they needed, and they're such team players. They were like, you know, in the hotel, but they're back to work. They're like, we want to work, and it's like, and they were so appreciative that I would do that, and I'm like, man, I would hope that if I were in that situation, you would do the same for me. You know what I mean? So.
I think
let's go, no problem. I'll do this.
Everyone should be able to think this way, and a true business owner should be able to, for example, we're gonna take our team, we're gonna fly them we have people in South Africa, Canada, Philippines, we have people in India, all across Latin America, so Ecuador, Costa Rica, Colombia, Venezuela, and we're gonna fly them to Colombia, in Medellin, and we're gonna like do a meetup.
Nice.
So we're gonna fly as many people. I think it's gonna be difficult for the South African because of visa stuff, but we're gonna meet all of us, and we're gonna do like an immersive experience, all like as a team.
Yeah, fun.
Yeah, it's super fun.
Yeah.
We're gonna make it fun, and we're gonna make activities, and we're also gonna kind of start doing some public speaking.
Great.
So I'm gonna make everyone do public speaking because I know that it's one of the biggest skill sets that you could
Yeah.
have. Because I am fearful at public
Yeah.
speaking sometimes, and it's something that
Yeah, it's a great skill.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Man, thank you
Well,
so
thank
much.
you
for
so
being
much.
here.
Yeah, appreciate spending time with you on this, and good luck with everything you're doing.
I appreciate you, man.
Thanks, Thank you.
Yeah, you are a legend.
Thank you.